Hi there, I'm Dr. Carol. How do you know what your purpose is? I hear from so many men and women that struggle to feel like they are not fulfilling their purpose in life. How do you know? What goes into your purpose? Is it some big thing that you're just supposed to magically appear in the future? Well, I don't think so. The very parts of your life that seem frustrating and futile or even a waste are usually the very things that God builds into you that you need to have in place to fulfill the purpose that He has for you. Now, first of all, your purpose, the reason that you are here in life, is not for one big grand moment in the future. It's much more seemingly day to day. But the things that you need to have in place to fulfill the purpose that God has for you may seem very, very small. But if you make those things available for God to use, He will do so. It may be things that you would overlook or that you wish you could just ignore and put away. The very things that have caused you pain, the struggles that you have had, the seasons in your life that didn't seem to make any sense. Those are often what God is building into you so that you are ready to fulfill your purpose. There's an analogy that has become very meaningful to me in my own life in understanding how God works in this way. In the Old Testament, shortly after the children of Israel had left Egypt and they were on their way to the Promised Land, God gave Moses directions for how they were to build the tabernacle, very specific directions. When it came to God's direction to make the anointing oil, it was perhaps even more detailed than many of the others. Very, very specific. This is from Exodus 30. God said, take the finest of spices, of liquid myrrh, 500 shekels, of sweet-smelling cinnamon, half as much, that is 250, and 250 of aromatic cane, and 500 of cassia, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, a hin of olive oil. And you shall make of these a sacred anointing oil, blended as by the perfumer. Very specific. The blended as by the perfumer was probably in a mortar and pestle. These spices, these ingredients were ground together, broken up, and then mixed into the olive oil. The result was a unique and captivating fragrance. It's not unlike that with you and me. What are the pieces in your life that go into the anointing oil God is creating you to be? I have come to understand that all the seasons in my life have been used by God to build me to be who He needs me to be now. That includes the dysfunctional family I grew up in, those experiences, the struggles that I had going through what I call my years of hell and the things I learned coming out of that. The long season of singleness. Then my marriage that God blessed me with, both the incredible joys and cherishing I experienced and the challenges of that. Then after my husband went home to be with the Lord, the grief experience, the medical training that I went through and the medical practice that I was involved in for over 30 years with training and practice, the theological training that I went through. Now, for me, that involved those degrees. But all of those things, the pieces that I understood at the time were growing me, and the pieces that I did not understand at the time were growing me. All of those things together have gone into who God made me to be and who He needs me to be. I don't believe I could be doing what I am doing now if any of those pieces were missing. All of those pieces have been ground together in me. And I believe it's the same for you. The seasons of your life, the things you have learned, both through listening to others and learn the hard way, the wounds you have experienced, and whatever measures of healing that you have as well. The things you have learned about yourself, the things you've learned about the world, the things you've learned about God, about other people, the skills that you have developed, and most importantly, the very things that have caused you pain. So, what do you do with all of that? My encouragement is that you make it all available to Jesus to use. All of it. If you are holding anything back, that aspect of the fragrance will be missing in your anointing oil. So, the very things that you might like to keep hidden may end up being the critical, most valuable piece when you make that available to Jesus. Nothing is wasted in God's economy when you make it available to him. So my encouragement, all the pieces of your life, Jesus, take it, use it. It may be grinding, it may feel hard, but it is what God will use for you to become who he needs you to be. If that is an intriguing thought, and if that means something to you, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment. If you'd like somebody to help walk with you through and understanding how all those pieces come together and some encouragement along the way and guidance, I love doing coaching. So come to our coaching page, drcarolministries.com/coaching, and leave me a note, and we'll see if maybe that's right for you. But I pray that God bless you, and that as you make all the pieces of your life available to him, that your life becomes a fragrance that blesses many for his glory. God bless you.